it can keep us warm. That's why every FedEx office has a clock. Because we live or we die by the clock. We never turn our back on it. And we never, ever allow ourselves the sin of losing track of time.
I wish you had more time.
So maintaining a daily log of how you spend your time is going to be really important, and you might be surprised at how much time you spend on various tasks or how often you're interrupted. What a time log can provide you with is a starting point for determining what needs improvement. Now, for most people, keeping a log for 7 consecutive days is going to be fine, and it's going to show you how much time you are spending doing what. I would recommend just getting a regular old spiral notebook or a little notepad or something like that to take notes in throughout the day. You need to record throughout the day and not wait until the end of the day. And you need to be specific with how you spent your time. Now, at the end of the week, you separate your tasks into categories according to the nature of the task. For example, you may use categories such as reading, meetings, replying to email, assisting others, phone calls, teaching, thinking, planning, exercising, sleeping, on and on it goes. And what you need is a time management tool to keep track of it. A really good one is a pie chart. So that makes it easy for you to see, like, just in chunks, the percentage of what you spend your time doing. And the goal of this is just to show you what you need improvement on, basically. At the end of the week, you want to look for patterns. Here are some questions you can ask yourself. Are you spending too much time on routine tasks? Are there things you can simplify? Are you spending too much time doing something that could be done more succinctly or streamlined? Are there times during the day when you're busier? Is it possible to reorganize your schedule so that you're able to work more consistently? When are you most and least productive? Are you doing work that should be delegated or work that shouldn't even be done? Do tasks take longer than they should? What would happen if you didn't do this task? And do you use your downtime effectively? Do you have time to think? Now that you know how you spend your time, you need to prioritize what's most important to you, because that's where you want to spend your most time. However, don't confuse what's most important with what's most urgent. Managing your time effectively requires a distinction between what is important and what is urgent. Urgent means it requires immediate attention. It cannot be put off without creating problems. Importance has to do with results. If something is important, it contributes to your mission, your goals, and or your values. However, experts agree that the most important tasks usually are not the most urgent tasks, yet we tend to let the urgent dominate our lives. To help break this down, let's categorize things into 4 quadrants. Important, not important, and not urgent. So y'all remember, having to do these graphs in algebra, right? Like this is the x-axis and then the y-axis, okay? So the x-axis is I for important. The y-axis is U for urgent. And here in the middle is 0, all right? So everything to the right of 0 is going to be important. Everything to the left of 0 is not important. Just as in algebra, the positive numbers go over here and the negative ones are over here, same concept here, okay? Now for the y-axis, everything that is above 0 is urgent. And as you can probably guess, everything below 0, not urgent, okay? So, examples, urgent and important. That's this quadrant. Say your family member gets hospitalized and you have to go and pick up her children and care for them overnight, okay? I think we can all agree that that's important and it's also urgent because it's an emergency. Now, something that's important but not necessarily urgent, that's this quadrant, okay? For example, let's say you need to get a wellness checkup, okay? You need to go to the doctor. That's not urgent, like it doesn't need to be done right away, so it would go on this axis, but it is very important, is it not? Because your health is really important. So this quadrant right here is where that would fall. And this is actually the quadrant that experts say we need to spend our most time in. Now, unfortunately, most of us fall in the trap of what's urgent but not important, which would be this top left quadrant. Like your boss asks for some information because he has to do a report tomorrow, okay? Now that is urgent because the person is your boss and they need it and they tell you what to do, and if you don't do it, you could end up fired. So yeah, it's urgent. Is it important? Does it produce results that are going to, how do I put this? Does it produce results that are going to benefit your goals, your values, your mission, whatever that may be? No, not really. That's for them, okay? That's not for you. So it is urgent, but it is not important, okay? I know it can be a little tricky making that distinction, but there is a distinction, okay? The bottom left quadrant, it's not urgent and it's not important, okay? That's surfing the web, reading junk mail, things like that. Now, especially in this country, we have a hustle mentality, you know? Always got to be on the go, go, go and doing stuff. Or you're just, you know, a lazy member of society that's not contributing anything, okay? Now, I'm not saying don't spend any time in this quadrant because you need to. Everybody needs their downtime. Everybody needs their escape time every day, not just a couple days a week, but every day, because you can, you get burnout, you get stressed, you get tired, and that's going to mess up all your other productivity, okay? So it's important. Now you decide how much time you want to spend here, whether it's an hour watching TV or it's an hour just scrolling through your Instagram and other social media platforms, or if it's an hour playing video games, whatever you do to, you know, relax and have a good time, that would fall here. I hope this makes sense.